Chapter 4. The Pacific Theater and Island Hopping Campaigns. Heroes are made by the paths they choose, not the powers they are graced with. Rick Riordan. In this chapter, we delve into the harrowing and poignant events that unfolded in the Pacific Theater during World War II. The vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean became the backdrop for some of the most brutal and heroic battles of the war. From the coral reefs of Guadalcanal to the volcanic sands of Iwo Jima, this theater witnessed the clash of nations, the sacrifice of countless lives, and the indomitable spirit of those who fought against all odds. The Pacific Theater holds a special place in the collective memory of World War II, evoking a sense of profound emotion and reverence. It was a theater of conflict characterized by remote islands, treacherous jungles, and unforgiving environments that tested the mettle of both soldiers and civilians. The struggle for supremacy in the Pacific brought together nations from around the globe, each driven by their own motivations and fighting for their respective causes. Within this chapter, we explore the island hopping campaigns, a strategic approach employed by the Allies to reclaim occupied territories and inch closer to the heart of the Japanese Empire. The battles fought on these remote islands were marked by ferocity, bravery, and the immense sacrifices of those involved. We bear witness to the courage of soldiers storming beaches under heavy fire, the resilience of Marines holding their ground amidst relentless enemy attacks, and the unwavering determination of pilots engaging in aerial dogfights amidst the vast expanse of the Pacific sky. But beyond the relentless warfare, the Pacific Theater also unveils stories of camaraderie, survival, and the unwavering spirit of humanity. It is a chapter that celebrates the unsung heroes, the ordinary individuals who displayed extraordinary acts of valor, compassion, and selflessness. From the nurses tending to the wounded on the front lines to the indigenous peoples who offered shelter and support, the Pacific Theater showcases the strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable challenges. As we embark on this journey through the Pacific Theater and the island hopping campaigns, let us remember the immense sacrifices made by those who fought and those who perished. Their legacy lives on, forever etched in the annals of history, reminding us of the true cost of war and the resilience of the human spirit. May their stories inspire us to cherish peace, to foster understanding, and to strive for a world where the horrors of war remain a distant memory. Section 1. Attack on Pearl Harbor and the Pacific War begins. The attack on Pearl Harbor stands as a pivotal moment in World War II, forever altering the course of the conflict and thrusting the United States into active participation. In this section, Attack on Pearl Harbor and the Pacific War begins, we delve into the motives behind Japan's audacious strike and examine the profound impact it had on the United States' entry into the war. Subsection: Japanese objectives and the surprise attack. The Japanese objectives behind the attack on Pearl Harbor were multifold and driven by a combination of strategic, military, and political factors. Japan sought to cripple the Pacific Fleet of the United States, thereby removing a potential obstacle to its imperial expansion in the Asia-Pacific region. The attack aimed to create a power vacuum, allowing Japan to establish a dominant presence in Southeast Asia and secure access to valuable resources. On 7 December 1941, the surprise attack on Pearl Harbor took place, launching Japan's military forces into action. In a meticulously planned and coordinated assault, Japanese aircraft unleashed a devastating barrage on the U.S. naval base in Hawaii. The element of surprise proved crucial, catching the American forces off guard, and inflicting severe damage on the Pacific Fleet. The attack on Pearl Harbor left an indelible mark on the American psyche. The loss of life, the destruction of warships, and the decimation of the U.S. air power anchored in the Pacific shook the nation to its core. It served as a clarion call, propelling the United States into a new era of total war and galvanizing the American people to take swift and resolute action. Subsection: The United States entry into the war. The attack on Pearl Harbor had an immediate and profound effect on the United States, leading to its entry into World War II. Following the assault, President Franklin D. Roosevelt addressed Congress and delivered his famous Day of Infamy speech, requesting a declaration of war against Japan. Within days, the United States officially entered the global conflict, shifting its focus from neutrality to active engagement. The attack on Pearl Harbor unified the American people and sparked a surge of patriotism and resolve. The nation mobilized its vast resources, both human and material, to wage a war against the Axis powers. The devastating blow suffered at Pearl Harbor became a rallying cry, strengthening the determination to seek justice and ensure that such an attack would never be repeated. With the United States now fully committed to the war effort, its military and industrial capacities were geared towards victory in the Pacific. The Pacific War became a critical theater of operations, as American forces, alongside their allies, embarked on a long and arduous campaign to push back against Japanese expansionism and ultimately bring about the defeat of the Axis powers. The attack on Pearl Harbor marked a turning point in World War II, dramatically altering the dynamics of the conflict and thrusting the United States into a position of leadership on the global stage. The surprise assault by Japan awakened a sleeping giant and set in motion a sequence of events that would shape the course of the war and the destiny of nations. The attack on Pearl Harbor stands as a poignant reminder of the cost of complacency and the resolve of a nation in the face of adversity. Section 2. Guadalcanal and the Solomon Islands. The campaign in Guadalcanal and the Solomon Islands played a crucial role in the Pacific theater of World War II, shaping the balance of power in the region and setting the stage for future Allied offensives. In this section, Guadalcanal and the Solomon Islands, we delve into the significant battles and strategic importance of this pivotal campaign. Subsection: The Battle for Guadalcanal. The Battle for Guadalcanal was a fierce and protracted struggle between Allied forces, primarily the United States, and the Imperial Japanese Army. The objective was to gain control of the strategically located island of Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands chain. It provided a crucial airfield, which, if held by the Allies, would disrupt Japanese supply lines, and serve as a launching pad for further operations in the Pacific. The battle began on 7 August 1942, when U.S. Marines launched a surprise amphibious assault on the shores of Guadalcanal. The initial landing faced fierce resistance from well-entrenched Japanese forces, resulting in a prolonged and grueling conflict characterized by brutal jungle warfare, relentless air raids, and naval engagements. The battle for Guadalcanal tested the resilience and determination of both sides. The unforgiving terrain, extreme weather conditions, and limited resources added to the already daunting challenges faced by the combatants. The battle witnessed fierce infantry clashes, intense naval encounters around Savo Island, and relentless aerial battles in the skies above. Months of relentless fighting and heavy casualties took a toll on both forces, but the Allied forces, through their superior resources and steadfast resolve, gradually gained the upper hand. They repelled numerous Japanese counterattacks and steadily expanded their control over the island. The battle for Guadalcanal culminated in a hard-won victory for the Allies, marking a significant turning point in the Pacific War. Subsection: Securing the Solomon Islands and strategic importance. Securing the Solomon Islands became a paramount objective for the Allies after the success in Guadalcanal. The Solomon Islands offered a strategic gateway to the Central Pacific, providing an opportunity to disrupt Japanese supply lines, establish forward bases, and isolate their forces. The campaign to secure the Solomon Islands involved a series of amphibious assaults and naval battles. The capture of key islands such as Tulagi, New Georgia, and Bougainville allowed the Allies to establish vital airfields, enabling them to project their military power deeper into the Pacific theater. The strategic importance of the Solomon Islands lay in their potential as a launching point for future offensives against Japan. The captured airfields provided the Allies with a strategic advantage, allowing them to conduct devastating bombing raids, interdict Japanese supply routes, and gradually push back the boundaries of Japanese-held territories. The successful Allied campaign in the Solomon Islands showcased the effectiveness of coordinated land, sea, and air operations. Amphibious landings, island hopping strategies, and combined arms tactics involving infantry, armor, naval vessels, and air power were employed to overcome Japanese defenses and secure the islands. The securing of the Solomon Islands not only represented a significant military achievement for the Allies but also dealt a psychological blow to the Japanese Empire. It shattered the perception of Japanese invincibility and marked a turning point in the Pacific War. The campaign in Guadalcanal and the Solomon Islands stands as a testament to the bravery, determination, and sacrifice of both Allied and Japanese forces. It played a pivotal role in shifting the balance of power in the Pacific and set the stage for future Allied advances that would ultimately lead to the liberation of the region and the defeat of Japan. Section 3, Iwo Jima and Okinawa. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa were pivotal engagements in the Pacific theater of World War II, bringing the Allied forces closer to the mainland of Japan and confronting them with intense resistance. In this section, Iwo Jima and Okinawa, we explore the ferocious battles, high casualties, and the approaching threat of the mainland invasion. Subsection: Ferocious battles and high casualties. The Battle of Iwo Jima, fought from February 19 to 26 March 1945, was a fiercely contested struggle between the United States Marines and the Imperial Japanese Army. Iwo Jima, a small volcanic island located halfway between Japan and the Mariana Islands, held significant strategic importance as an airfield for Japanese defenses and as a potential emergency landing site for American bombers. The battle was marked by intense fighting, as Japanese forces utilized an extensive network of underground tunnels, fortified bunkers, and hidden defensive positions. The Marines faced a determined enemy that employed fanatical resistance tactics, including suicidal charges and entrenched defenses. The difficult terrain and the presence of metric ton Suribachi further added to the challenges faced by the assaulting forces. Despite the overwhelming odds and the high casualties incurred, the United States Marines ultimately prevailed in the battle, capturing the island and securing the airfields. However, the cost was immense, with heavy losses on both sides. The Battle of Iwo Jima remains etched in history as one of the bloodiest and most fiercely contested battles of the Pacific War. The Battle of Okinawa, fought from April 1 to 22 June 1945, was a larger-scale operation and the last major battle of World War II. The objective was to capture the island of Okinawa, a strategic location that brought the Allies within striking distance of mainland Japan. The battle witnessed intense combat between U.S. Marines and Army units against a heavily fortified Japanese force. Japanese troops utilized an intricate system of caves, tunnels, and fortified positions, engaging in relentless guerrilla warfare and employing kamikaze attacks to inflict maximum damage on Allied forces. The Battle of Okinawa was characterized by ferocious fighting, with heavy casualties on both sides. The determination and resilience of the Japanese defenders, coupled with the challenging terrain and the widespread use of suicide tactics, resulted in a protracted and brutal battle. Subsection: Approaching mainland Japan and the kamikaze threat. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa signaled the approaching mainland invasion of Japan, heightening the anticipation of a decisive and costly campaign. The relentless resistance faced by the Allied forces, particularly the kamikaze attacks, highlighted the desperation of the Japanese military and their commitment to defending their homeland at any cost. Kamikaze, meaning divine wind, referred to the suicide attacks carried out by Japanese pilots against Allied naval vessels. These attacks involved pilots intentionally crashing their aircraft loaded with explosives into enemy ships, causing extensive damage and loss of life. The kamikaze threat posed a significant challenge to the Allied forces, as these attacks targeted ships at sea and disrupted naval operations. The determination and sacrifice displayed by the kamikaze pilots struck fear into the hearts of Allied sailors and underscored the resolve of the Japanese military in resisting the imminent invasion. The battles of Iwo Jima and Okinawa, with their ferocious battles, high casualties, and the looming specter of kamikaze attacks, demonstrated the magnitude of the challenges faced by the Allied forces as they approached mainland Japan. These battles served as a grim precursor to the planned invasion of Japan, which was ultimately averted by the dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, leading to Japan's surrender. The legacy of these battles endures as a testament to the bravery and sacrifice of all those who fought, highlighting the immense toll of war and the determination of nations in the face of adversity.